End of an era. What is up, people? Dobbsyrules is right here. This is not a video for entertainment or anything like that. It's pretty much my own type of version of a memory. It's an end of an era because this house was my grandparents'. They were the sole owner. They originally saw this place get built from the ground up, and they kept this house until they sadly were no longer with us. And pretty much today was our last day of clearing out the house. I thought to myself, for one last time before I say goodbye to this house, I want to go and take you to some good old memories, some good ones, some sad ones, as you guys would know, because you guys already know that this is hard as it is. So as you guys notice, the photograph that you saw was pretty much of my nan, my granddad, and my brother Aaron, and myself standing in the same position before Aaron went off to the army. As you guys can see, I'm the only one left. Aaron's not here, don't worry, he's still around. Plus I live with Nan and Grandad, they're no longer with us. But as I'm going to show you, some clips, some photographs of the whole entire house, and I'm going to give you some of my own personal memories of my childhood here. Because as you guys notice, I'm almost 30 years old, 29 now. If I remember, I think Grandad has been gone for like almost 10 years. And Nana has been gone since I was in high school, the last year of high school if I remember. Can't say I remember now. It's like, it's getting closer to almost like 18, probably 20 years now. I can't really remember, but it's been a long time. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about is the garden at the front of the actual house. My main memory I remember there is that little tiny ditch that goes around. I remember me running around that area all my childhood. Circles around over and over again until I just couldn't do any more, until I was tired and I fell asleep. I was around about 5, 6, over to 10 years old. I was always doing this whilst my nan and granddad was always sitting the bench near me right here. And with it, it's time for us to go ahead and let's go and have a look inside, shall we? So pretty much ever since I was little, this is where I sat. This always was my spot, always my chair. So I sat right here. That's where the TV was, and where you guys are standing, where you're watching, is where my Nana and Granddad used to sit. Well, my Nana used to sit there first off, and then sadly when Nana passed away, Granddad took over. It was the best chair in the house, to be honest. That's why it was the most, like they both loved it the most. Pretty much when Nana was still here, we used to pretty much watch VHS tapes most of the time, because we, as you guys know, I was a 90s boy. VHS was the thing. DVDs weren't really a thing just yet. We were mainly watching Looney Tunes. We had flipping, God, there was just so many good VHS tapes. Mainly it was all Disney films. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, that was the one I remember the most. But the memory I do remember the most was when Peter Kay released Is This the Way to Amarillo? And it was like the biggest selling song for comic relief that I 100% remember. My nan and granddad absolutely loved it. They both loved Peter Kay, even though he could be a bit blue sometimes, and he was a very, very funny comedian. I remember being this tall, remembering every single word to This Is the Way to Amarillo, and I didn't even have a clue who the original singer was or anything, because I love Peter Kay, and that's why I love the song, and that's why we all did it. And I still remember me marching around this room with my nana and my granddad singing Is This the Way to Amarillo? But then, after all that lot, when Nana passed away, there was lots of things that were changing around the house. We went ahead and had to think on how to keep going. So I went ahead and went and watched wrestling. Me and Grandad watched wrestling for nearly every single day, as much as we could. We always cheered for the bad guys, always. The one we always cheered for was Bubba Ray Dudley in WWE, but in TNA he was known as Bully Ray. We always cheered for him all the time, even though we knew he was a villain. But we knew he was the best one for us because we liked him, but we also hated him at the same time because he also made one of the best factions in the world, Aces and Eights, which, as you guys know, I love dearly. And that was something that kept my granddad going as well, because he knew that I loved it, but he also loved wrestling. Because when Nan and Grandad were younger, and when my mother was younger, they watched English wrestling. Kendo Nagasaki, Big Daddy, Giant A Stacks, Les Kellett, the great British wrestlers. And then, so I pretty much carried that on with my granddad. So every Saturday and every Sunday, every time when I finished school, I came over here to see my granddad all the time. We watched TNA every single Saturday, every single Sunday. We taped it to watch it all, to catch up to it all. Watching all the greats, Austin Aries, Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon, the Hardy Boys. We watched them all. Even my granddad started to know them all. Even one of his favourite referees, Hugh Hebner. He remembers them all. He absolutely loved it. And then everything all changed. He came and lived with us, and he died with us. But with it, there's always good happy memories. Let me go take you to another room so I can show you another funny moment for me as well. And a very, very funny moment when I was really, really, really small. Let's go to the next room. Yep, the bog. You might be thinking, why on earth is this a memory for me? Because me being extremely little, me being a stupid kid, didn't listen to what I thought was stupidity, became a reality. Me being as little, I went to the toilet, as me being who learned to have some privacy. I turned the lock. I went ahead and finished, turned the lock back on, the lock wouldn't move. I was stuck in the bog for God knows how long. I can't remember how long I was, but all I knew was that I banged this door so hard, so my nan and granddad overheard me screaming to open up the door, and we had my granddad literally on his hands and knees jamming this flipping door to get me out, and God, I was in tears all the way through that because I thought I was going to be stuck here forever. I can't remember how old I was. I think I was probably 5 or 6. But yeah, that was a little memory I remember because it was a scary one, because I never ever locked myself in a room or building ever. It was my first time and I didn't want to do it ever again. Have you ever locked myself into somewhere else? Yeah, I've done it a few times. But I figured out how to get out of it one way or another. Go through the window. Let's go ahead to another room where I remember spending most of my childhood when I felt like playing something on my own, whether it was video games or watching TV. Let's go to the back room. TV, one chair, big massive Philips TV. That's how it was for me. In here, we had VHS tapes, some DVDs, but we also had a video games console. The thing is, I don't remember what video game console it was. I don't know if it was the N64 or it was a Mega Drive. I cannot remember. But the main thing I do remember was watching DVDs and VHS tapes here, but we also remember having Sky in here because the TV Sky box here was connected to the one in the front room. So anytime my granddad was either watching the football, I was in here watching Cartoon Network or CBBCs. There used to be a table here that I used to have all my drinks and everything, but also in here as well used to be a couch, which also turned into a little bit of a bed, if I recall. That's been long gone for so many years, but yeah, this is the room that I spent most of my time in when I was a kid. Just watching TV, playing video games, watching VHS tapes and all that lot. Yeah, that was pretty much this room as much as I remember. There was not much I can fully remember, but I do remember I was in here a lot. And it's all empty. Still though, still have the old TV remote here. Let's go ahead to, like I said, now just to let you guys know, there's only 2 rooms left. One room I'm not showing you. Main reason because that was my grandparents' bedroom. I'm not going to show you in there at all. That is my own personal privacy life that I'm keeping to myself and for my family's sake as well. But I can show you the kitchen. Let's go that way. So here's the kitchen. Small, yes. Memories, not for myself really. All I remember in here was Nana mainly cooking mostly on this stove here. Making all the best cakes in the world. Cookies, biscuits, cakes, treacle toffee and all that lot. Luckily though, Mama Dobbs went ahead and got that passed on to her, and she has all the skills to cook for everybody else again. As you guys know, I took it over as well when I went into the catering industry, but I'm a bit rusty now. But the main memory in here is I remember that Mama Dobbs used to cook in here for my granddad. Most dish I remember was cottage pie. Always cottage pie. She always banged them in the oven every single weekend, just so they were ready for him to eat whenever he was peckish or he was just hungry most of the day. But I don't think it's here anymore. I think we got rid of it. Yeah, it's not in here anymore. There was a glass in here that I always had, always drank off it. And I think the reason why I used to drink off that, because I think it's the same thing for me as an adult now, because I think that's the reason why I love whiskey glasses. They're small and they're nice big round glasses, and I had lashes of ice in it all the time with a drink. I think that's the reason why I liked whiskey glasses more than anything, because that's my memory there. But I do remember always having the knives in here. We had big massive pots and pans here. But I do remember though in the fridge. Always remember the fridge. We always had a little bit of popped on the top, but in this compartment here, it was chocolates, biscuits, everything. Nana and Grandad always had it stacked up, and me being a little porcupine, munched on all of it. But yeah, that's the main memories for the building itself, and I think it's for me to go ahead and take you back outside and wrap it all up. So we have the back garden. Now, the back garden was pretty much my nana's favourite area. She loved gardening. That was the one thing she loved: gardening. When she passed away, it was our responsibility to keep it going. But as I got older and I was no longer doing high school or college work or anything like that, and I was working, I couldn't keep up with it. Neither could my mother. But every time we had a chance, we did it, and we did it all the time, as much as we could. But it's not what it used to be. I don't think I have any other pictures of what the garden looked like when I was a kid. There might be something nearby. I might try and find a picture of it if I can. But there's... What type of memories I remember? I remember there was around here there was a bird perch, like a bird house for the birds, for them to have a bath and something to eat. I remember my granddad randomly trying to pick up something, and he fell over and fell into the actual garden part. Luckily, he missed the flipping stone, because if he hit the stone, it would have cracked his head open. But there's not much to remember for the back garden. It was just because the main thing I know about it, the most thing I remember it the most, it was that it was my nana's pride and joy for anything. Whether it was a great day, a bad day, or anything like that, she always loved her gardening. Or even if she couldn't garden, she'd sit on the bench and relax, listen to the birds, enjoy the sun, all that stuff. But how about we now end this all off now, and let's go back to the front and remember everything that you guys will know, but what I do know. So that is pretty much the house. Memories, loads of memories. The one thing I will miss about this is just because it was Nana and Grandad's home for so many years, being the first owner and all that, like I said. I can definitely say though, we're leaving for a very good reason. That's the main thing. We faced it. Me and my mother, we've gone ahead and faced it head on. Is it sad for us to go? Yes. It's very, very sad for us to go and leave this house. But we definitely do know that we are giving it to a very, very... Somebody's going to definitely look... Let's just say somebody's definitely going to enjoy this home for what it is. Because this has been a home for two very strong, powerful and loving people for a very, very long time. A Manchester loving, a God loving family. And I think it's time to say goodbye to it. I'll leave this bit to you guys. Always, never take things for granted. That's all I'm saying. Because once something's gone, it's gone. Cherish everything like it shall last. Because if you don't, it'll be gone for good.